Welcome to Smithgall Woods State Park. My name is Kathy Church. I'm the interpretive specialist here, and this is my friend Obie. Obie is an eastern rat snake. But here at Smithgall, Obie is an important piece of our environment. Smithgall is a conservation park. We're almost 6,000 acres of conservation park. For us, that means that we have two very important jobs. Our first, most important job is to take care of all the plants and all the animals here at the park. That includes even the trout in Dukes Creek behind me. But our other job is education. We are a regional education center where almost 18,000 kids per year learn about the outdoors, sometimes here at the park and sometimes in their classroom. But the park has many beneficial attributes. We not only have a pristine stream for fishing and for enjoyment, we have this beautiful Bays Bridge, which was given to us by Charles Smithgall. That's where we get our name. But we also have hunting. We also have archery and many more activities on the weekends for people to enjoy. We would love for you to join us here at Smithgall and see this beauty for yourself. What a lot of people don't know is that White County was the site of one of North America's first gold mining expeditions. And here at Dukes Creek, we were a major site of gold mining. Now that mining started with just pan mining, like the old men you see, pan, dirt, shuffle it out, find some gold. But once gold was found, then it started to develop. We ended up with hydraulic mining where large hoses blasted giant sections out of the sides of the mountain to try to find gold. This blasting washed all of that soil down into our river. By blasting that soil into our river, it caused the river to become highly acidic. So what we find when we test the water quality, our pH is definitely below a 7. We're more like a 6 around here. Because of that low pH, that changes the plants that can grow. Like this plant over here. That guy is called dog hobble. And it's called dog hobble for a very good reason. That plant was known for tangling up a hunter's dog when he was using that dog to hunt for bears. So not only does conservation help to bring this beautiful place back to where it was before the mining, but it also helps some pretty interesting plants to grow here. At Smithgall, one of our jobs is to provide for natural habitat, like this vernal pool. Sometimes they're called ephemeral pools or a temporal pool. It all means basically the same thing. It means that this pond is not here all year round. So when we get heavy rains in the winter and in the spring, this pond will fill up and provide a great place for amphibians of all sorts to lay their eggs. Amphibian eggs have to stay wet. Whether it's a frog or a salamander, doesn't matter. Those eggs have got to stay wet. So these pools provide a safe place where there are no fish, where those eggs can stay wet until they're ready to hatch out. But remember, amphibians, they've got to go through metamorphosis. So these guys spend part of their life in the water, whether it's a little tadpole or a baby salamander, and part of their life on the land. This pool helps them to have a little bit of both, with a little more safety than a pond would. Meet the American chestnut. This tree was super important to both humans and wildlife for a long time here in Georgia. And at Smithgall, we have a test site for regrowing these trees. A sad thing happened a while back. These trees got sick. A disease called chestnut blight was brought into America. That blight killed all of these beautiful trees. And these trees were huge. They weren't little trees like this. They were massive trees. It would take 6 grown men hand to hand to go all the way around that tree. So these big, beautiful trees made lots and lots of nuts for people to eat and for wildlife to eat. But even a big tree like that can't withstand a fungus like the chestnut blight. The blight killed the trees, but luckily there were a few left alive. Those very few would grow about that big, get sick with the blight, and then die. So for years now, the state of Georgia and other groups have been working together to try to make trees that don't get sick anymore. Here at Smithgall, we're a test site for 100% American chestnuts that don't get sick anymore. Meet Cass. Cass is Castor canadensis. That's a Canadian beaver. Now, beavers are large animals. They average about 40 to 50 pounds, but the biggest on record, 110 pounds. That's a big animal. A big animal can make a big change. Beavers are what we call environmental engineers. They change the habitat to be what they need. So a beaver may take a stream and change it into a big wetland. Now that is an important thing because when you build a wetland, you build homes for many, many other animals. Fish, amphibians, even birds live and thrive in the wetland that the beaver builds. He builds it using all sorts of tools. His fur, completely waterproof. His feet, they're webbed like a duck so he can swim. He can swim faster than an Olympic swimmer. He is super fast. But my favorite things about the beaver are on his face. Have you ever gotten water up your nose or in your ears when you're swimming? Oh, it's terrible. Doesn't happen to the beaver. A beaver can actually close his nose and close his ears while he's swimming underwater. Even his eyes have their own third eyelid. It's called a nictitating membrane that covers his eyes when he works underwater like his own pair of goggles. Everything about this animal is built for working in his own ecosystem. Welcome to our discovery room. Meet my friend Ursus, Ursus americanus. Ursus means bear, americanus, of course from America. But this is our native black bear. Now, black bears are a smaller bear. They're not as big as grizzly bears, but they're important around here because black bears actually help to spread plant seeds. Most of a black bear's diet is either berries or acorn. And when he eats those berries, he actually helps to spread those seeds around. But he's a master at getting to berries wherever they may be. A black bear's claws are curved. And those big curved claws allow him to dig into a tree and climb straight up to get anything that he wants to eat. It might be muscadines, it might be acorns in the fall, but he can sit up there and eat all he wants. He can easily find it too because a black bear has a gigantic nose. Look how big that is. His sense of smell is 7 times better than a dog. That means that he can smell food 18 miles away. So a black bear will follow that nose to whatever food source he needs and eat everything he can reach. So he's an important part of our ecosystem. So we want to protect him. He'll eat just about anything, so make sure he's not eating anything of yours. Put away your trash, put away your birdseed. That protects you and the bear.